Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Shri Radhe. Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Yashoda Damodara, Yashoda Damodara, Shri Radhe. Yashoda Damodara, Yashoda Damodara, Shri Radhe. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nita Gaura Hari Bol, Nita Gaura Hari Bol, Nita Gaura Hari Bol, Nita Gaura Hari Bol. Shri Shri Radha Krishna ki Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki Gauranitai ki Yashoda Damodara ki Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
That's it. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for coming to the Hare Krishna Bhaktivedanta Manor here in Watford on this cloudy day today. But thank you all for being here. So today we'll talk a little bit about one of the pastimes of Lord Krishna to get us in the mood of this Kartik month. Just before we start, just say a quick prayer. Okay. Snigdha Cheta Shrupneta Varnam Pratum Gatu Prada Prana Bhakti Charupadma. Namam Vishnupataya Krishnapataya Bhute Srimate Bhakti Charu Swami Namane. Namam Vishnupataya Krishnapataya Bhute Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pacharani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatavdeshatarani. Vanchakalpadarupachaya Kirpa Sindhu Bevache Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jaya. So, thank you all for being here again. So, there's many pastimes of Lord Krishna, and we always think which ones we're going to talk about. And we'll talk about Aghasura today, about the pastimes of Aghasura. But before that, just a quick overview. Kartik month is very special to Lord Krishna, and you think, why is it very special? So just like of all the plants that we see outside, the trees and flowers and everything, the most important plant for Lord Krishna is the Tulsi plant, because we worship it at the altar. You see it, everyone worships that. And whenever you go to pilgrimage in India, everyone knows about Dwarkadish. It's very famous, so that's a very nice, auspicious pilgrimage place, as well as Vrindavan and Jagannath Puri. They're all very auspicious pilgrimage places. And there's so many days in the month, but the most dear to Lord Krishna are the days of Ekadashi. And of those days and months in the whole year, the most dear to Lord Krishna is that month of Kartik, which is a very special month, because this is the month where any activity we do, it's magnified. It's like, you know, we have the Christmas sale where everything, you know, you say buy one, get one half price, or you buy two, get one free. This is one of those sort of months where you have the opportunity. If you're lacking in something, or if you need something, this is the month you can purchase in the sale. So this is a sale that we should all be aiming for. Now Krishna, as we know, he does many pastimes. He does wonderful pastimes. And when you think of the pastimes that he does, it's amazing. How many of us go to a cinema to see movies? Yeah? So when you see the movie, what do you expect to see in the movie? Entertainment. And what does Krishna provide in his pastimes? Entertainment. He gives us a lot of entertainment. So you have a hero, you have a villain, and you have the people on the side running around doing all sorts of things. So it's a lot going on. And most of the time when you see these movies, all the attention is on the bad people, how bad they're doing things. And in the end, the hero comes up, and within a space of a few minutes, everything is settled. And that's the same with Lord Krishna. In his pastimes, there's so much happening, so much going on, and it just builds up so much to an eruption point. Then Krishna comes in, and just like a snap of your finger, everything is finished. He calms it all down, it's all finished. there's so many leelas that we see, these pastimes, like on the altar you can see Yashodamaya is trying to tie Lord Krishna to the grinding mortar, and every time she tries to tie him with so many ropes, as many as she can find, it's always 2 fingers too short. So she's asking all the people in the village, get me some more ropes. If you can't find ropes, anything, any cloth, any sari, anything you can find, I just need to tie Krishna up. And no matter how much ropes or cloth they always bring to tie Krishna, they always seem to run out. It's always 2 fingers too short. And obviously, like Lord Krishna is, he looks at everything, what's happening, and this is a pastime. He goes, yeah, don't worry. I'll make my mother sweat for a little bit. You know, like children when they're crying, they're not actually crying, but they're pretending to cry. They say, I'll get my mother worked up, and then come to a point where I say, yeah, okay, I'll agree. So this is what similar to what Krishna is doing. He's saying, I'll see how much effort Mother Yashoda is putting in. And it came to a certain point where she's thinking, Krishna, I can't tie you, but I need to tie you because you're being a naughty boy. I need to tie you against this mortar. And those 2 fingers represent our determination. And the will of Lord Krishna. Because if he wants us to be tied, he will be tied. So he thought, Mother Yashoda has tried so hard, so let her have the opportunity. She can tie me, no worries. And then once she tied Lord Krishna, what does he do? Again, his pastimes don't stop. So he says, okay, she's tied me, no problem. And then Yashodamaya thinks, well, he's tied and he's only a small little child, what can he do? As it happens, he decides, okay, I'll just walk around the place. Don't forget, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And to tie him is not very easy, but even if he is tied, he can move anywhere with his own free will. He's not sort of limited like us. And don't forget, he's very strong and powerful. And then he just, as it happens, just decides to walk around. And as he's walking around, you know, he gets out of the house, walks around, he sees these 2 trees. He's thinking, okay, do you know what? Let me just walk along. So he's dragging the mortar behind him and he's walking along as he goes. As he goes, the mortar gets in between the 2 trees and he forces himself down. Jai Shri Radha Gokul Nand Bhagwan Ji ki, Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, as Lord Krishna is walking, he sees these trees and he says, okay, I'm going to get through that. There's a gap in the trees and he's thinking, yeah, he's judging it. Yeah, I think I can get through it. As he walks along, he can't get through it, but you know how strong he is. You know, we never underestimate Krishna, how strong he is. He just pulls along. He just makes his way through the trees. And what happens? Those 2 Arjuna trees, they fall down. And 2 effulging personalities come out of that. And then we have the other beautiful pastime of Lord Krishna where he's dancing on the heads of Kaliya. Can you imagine a small boy dancing on the heads of snakes? But it's possible Krishna can do all that. So, and I think the pastime that I love is when Krishna is known as Makhan Chor, when he's eating all the butter, you know. And to top it off, on top of that, Krishna's eating butter. And then he calls his monkey friends and says, yeah, you will have, you know, because you enjoy the butter. Butter is so nice. I'm having it, so you have it as well. So they're having it as well. And when Yashodamaya sees that, he goes, no, I didn't do anything. Look, not me, it's the monkeys. Look, monkeys everywhere. There's butter everywhere. Little footsteps everywhere. Say, I'm not having the butter, it's the monkeys, you know. So these are all wonderful pastimes of Lord Krishna. Then he gives us these pastimes so that we can be attracted to him, to his beauty. You know, when you like something, like when you have a precious diamond, you just or something that's really nice, you just can't stop looking at it. I know a lot of ladies, when they have those, when you want to go and buy a diamond ring, you could just see it from a distance. When it's nice and shiny and effulgent, you say, that's what I want, that's the one I want. And the husband turned around and said, yeah, okay, but, not just yet. But she said, it's nice. So there's that attraction that we have with Krishna. Now, did anybody notice Krishna on the altar, how beautiful he looks? Yeah? And he's so amazing. But what else does he have with him? That's always prominent with Krishna. He has something with him in his hand. Any idea? A flute. Yeah, he has the flute. Krishna has this flute. And everything he does with his flute. He has to call someone. If he has to call the cows and the calves, he just plays the flute. If he wants to call his friends, he just plays the flute. If he wants to call the gopis, he just plays the flute. And they all come running after him. But there's also something else that he has with him. Anybody ever noticed? It's always on the altar. Krishna's always wearing it. Peacock feather is there. Something else. Yeah. There's always something else there he has. When the curtains open, have a nice look. When you come to see Krishna, don't just quickly just pay your pranams and that's it. Look very carefully at what he's wearing, how elegantly he's dressed. He has a little horn on his side. Have you ever noticed it? No? Notice that when you see Krishna on the altar now. He's got a little horn over here. So that horn is special because Krishna, one day he decided, you know what? I want to go out with the calves and everything, to the cows. Let's go for an early morning out with the cows. But what does Krishna do? That little horn is very special because now, if he wants to, he can just blow the flute and everybody believe around Krishna in a flash. But that day he decided, he's like an alarm clock, for all the people in Vrindavan. So he says, you know what? He blew that little horn and everybody woke up and they think, why is he waking up so early for? Krishna one day decided that let's go and have a picnic, enjoy a lunch in the forest. So the idea of having a picnic, as we would say, is not a new conception, it's a very old conception from Krishna's time, so you can see how old this conception is of having a picnic. So he blew the horn, he got everybody up, and they were getting ready. But do you know how old was Krishna at that time? His age. Does anybody have any idea? Any wild guesses? Anyone? I would say he's between about 5 to 7, between the ages of 5. So he's quite small. He's not grown up, but he's still quite small. So they decided to go on a picnic, have a nice lunch. Forget breakfast. We'll just have a nice big lunch in the forest. So that got the mothers busy because everybody had to make preps and everything and get everything ready, organized. And as it happens, back in that time, there were no disposable trays or cutlery or fancy tiffin boxes or anything that they could put everything in. So you can imagine that they probably had these big banana leaf things. So you put everything inside that. And because they didn't have any lunch boxes or anything, they just wrapped it up in a nice cloth and took it with them. So that was their picnic in the early concept, of going there. There's no plates or anything. They just open it up and ate it. And now the thing is, when you have small children, ages between 4 and 7, so they're quite small, they're not. So a lot of time the elders, the mothers especially, they would think, I think we should send a few senior people with them, send a few elder people with them, just to keep an eye on them. But Krishna, as he is, and even the other younger cowherd boys, they're thinking, no, don't send anybody with. Krishna's here with us. He look after us. What's the problem? He saved us so many times from so many other calamities. He'll save us again. They have this unflinching faith in Krishna. So, and they said, okay, we won't send the elder, like the parents, the fathers or someone. We'll send some of the slightly elder boys with you, so they can keep an eye on you. And then again, they turn around and say, well, no, don't send them with us. We're okay, Krishna will look after us. Plus the fact that, when you have small children, they're playing about, and you have someone elder come up, whatever they're doing, they sort of take a step back and they become very hesitant. So all these Gopas and Krishnas, they wanted to have a fun time with Krishna. They're going out with the calves themselves. So because Krishna and the Gopas, they're quite young, and so they didn't take the big cows, they just took the calves with them. And they weren't just a few, they weren't like 10, 20, 30. They were thousands upon thousands of cows. Like Krishna had millions of cows, and the Gopas had so many cows, little calves. So you can imagine these little boys working with so many little calves and going into the forest, but they wouldn't go very far into the forest because they know it's not a good idea to venture out too far. So they stay on the periphery of the forest, take it to a small forest where they know it's going to be safe. So here they are, they're all going into the forest, and young, small children as they are, and the sort of things they do, they like messing about, these small kids playing games. They get into the forest, they see these little monkeys, they imitate the monkeys, the kind of sounds they make. They see little frogs by the bank of Yamuna, and they see little frogs and how they're croaking. They try to imitate the voice of the frogs. They see how they're just jumping, and the boys would do the same other thing. They just jump like a frog into the Yamuna, get themselves all wet, and just really having a fun time, enjoying themselves. You can imagine they just sort of like let loose and enjoy yourselves and do whatever you want. Just they were being in their own element as children would be. So they're having a fun time. And Krishna, as he is, he's always one step ahead of the game. He knows. So he's thinking and looking around. He decides to just veer off slightly and just look what else is happening around him. And then as soon as some of the younger boys see Krishna's walking away, like he's standing looking in the distance, they say, oh look, there's Krishna, I'll be the first one to catch him. I'm going to touch Krishna, I'll be the first one. And so they're all playing games, and Krishna obviously, he knows everything. He knows what's going inside these little boys, these little children in their minds. So he's thinking, okay, they all want to be the first one to touch me, so I'll give them the opportunity. I think it's like, the old game of tag that we used to play, similar to that, I'll be the first one to go and touch him. So that's what they were trying to do. So everybody had the opportunity, and they're all running, just touching Krishna and tagging themselves. And then you see them, all these boys having a real fun time, just taking someone else's packed lunch and passing it to him, taking his packed lunch and passing it to him, and really having a fun time. When it's time to eat, they'll just sit down and just pick things out from here just by hand. And it's when you see the love they have for each other. They say, oh, have you tried this? No. And they'll just, hey Krishna, they're eating something. They say, Krishna, have you tried this? This is really nice, you got to try this. And they say, and they just finish and they say, hey, and just giving it to him, say, eat this. And that's how they're feeding him. And you think, wow, what sort of pious activities the little children must have done to attain that position of just being so close to Krishna, playing with Krishna, and then feeding Krishna. So if you think of it, wow, it's incredible. And while all that was happening, on the entertainment side, the villain comes in. The villain, And in this occasion, the villain is a snake. No. Anybody know how does a snake move? How does it move? Any idea? Does it have feet that go? No, it doesn't, does it? No. A snake, when you see it, it just slides across. You can't hear the snake move, can you? You can't hear its footsteps as it's walking towards me. You don't have no imminent signs of danger or warning signs comes danger, snake approaching, be careful. No, because they're in the forest. Snake could come from anywhere. So this snake was approaching towards Krishna. Obviously, now when snake moves, you can't hear it. Now this was a very dangerous snake. And as a lot of snakes, what do they normally do? When it opens their mouth, what do you see? Fangs, it bites people to kill people. But this snake was no ordinary snake. It was a python. And the python is a snake that doesn't actually bite, it just swallows. So if it just, whatever its prey is, it will just swallow it. And it doesn't actually bite it, it swallows it. So if anyone's unsure, just Google it, you'll see it. You know, it can eat anything and everything. It just opens its mouth like that, so because it just swallows it in. And so this snake, his name was Aghasura, and he was the younger brother of Putna and Bakasura. Obviously, Krishna had previously killed them as well. So, you know, those are also some of the pastimes that he had, his leelas, you know, his pastimes. There's all these villains coming to attack Krishna, and every time they come to him, he seems to defeat them because they forget he's very powerful. The demons come in all sorts of forms, shapes and sizes, but every time they come, Krishna just one sweep gets rid of them. Now this snake, this python, Aghasura, is, as it's mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, he's 8 miles long. So you can imagine how big this python was. And not only was he 8 miles long, and when it opened its mouth, it's from the ground. The lower lips was on the ground, and the upper lip went right the way up to the clouds. It was touching the clouds. It's so huge. And it lay absolutely still on the ground, didn't move, didn't do nothing. Children being children as they are, you know, they become very curious. They look at this, they say, yeah, listen, it looks like a snake. The other will say, is it a snake? It could be a snake. But its mouth is like a snake. Nah, I don't think it's a snake. Look at those big teeth. They look like mountains. No, I don't know. Shall we? Shall we not? And shall we go inside and have a look? It's very dark in there. Why not? Let's go inside and have a look. And they're thinking, shall we? Yeah, okay, let's go and have a look. So curiosity for children is something that you cannot stop. They are very inquisitive. They want to find out what it is. You know, when you have a child, he sees a glowing fire, he'll try and touch his hand to it just to see what it is. So in a similar way, these little children, the little gopas, they were very inquisitive, wanting to find out what's happening. So they go inside. They slowly start walking inside the mouth of the Aghasura, and he's standing there quietly. They go up into the belly, and he's waiting for the moment that Krishna comes inside. Krishna will come inside, because obviously Krishna is thinking, yeah, well, my friends are going inside, I'll have to go and help them, because, you know, this is not right. And what does Krishna do then? Krishna, then he goes inside. All these little gopas are inside into the belly of the snake, because they're just walking and they're saying, very funny smell in here, but hey, it's in a cave. What do you expect in a cave? You know, it's going to be stuff in there that's been there for ages and ages, and you know. So off they go, and as they went inside, they suffocated, and then Krishna has to go in, and then he sees Yes, something's not right. And then Krishna decides to expand himself and expand himself and expand. He expanded himself so big, he came to so big that he came to a point where eventually Aghasura the snake, he suffocated himself and he dies. And when he dies, then Krishna brings back all his friends, all the gopas, and he brings them back to life again. So that's the pastime of the Aghasura demon. So what lessons can we learn from that? So what it's representing is the mentality of cruelty to others, the violence. Especially when you envy others. And on this aspect, you can see how Aghasura was so envious of Krishna. But don't forget, Krishna at that time was a small child. He was only about 5 or 6. So this is the mentality of people who do things to children who are like 5 or 6. They have that mentality like Aghasura. That's one thing it has. And also, this is telling us that Krishna, even though he was so small, his powers are unlimited. His potency is unlimited. For Krishna, nothing is impossible. We can see that even though he's so small, got into the mouth of a python, which is 8 miles long. You're trying to suffocate something which is so big. But he's done it. He suffocated the snake. And look at the little cowherd boys that had so much unflinching faith in Krishna that they said, Krishna saved us before. We can go into the forest with him, no problem. Let's go into the mouth of this snake. Krishna will save us. That's the unflinching faith they had. And this is what we should also have. We should have this unflinching faith in Krishna, because we sometimes doubt that will Krishna save us. But when you have that sincerity inside you and you pray effortlessly with all sincerity to Krishna, don't forget, he does listen. But he listens in the way that he thinks is right for us. Sometimes if I think, oh Krishna, I want this, but then he'll reciprocate in a different way. But it takes us a lot longer to understand why he's doing this. So, and anyone who's killed by Krishna, they attain liberation. So therefore, in this month of Kartik, which is very auspicious, we should try and listen to as much as we can about Krishna, about his glories, about his pastimes, about what he does, where he lives. We have an address for him as well, where Krishna is. It's called Golok Vrindavan, so have a look. It's such a place where if you go there, you don't want to come back. It's so beautiful. You can contact him. There's an easy way to contact him. And the easiest way to contact him is chanting the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So he doesn't ask you for too much. So in this month of Kartik, chant. If you can chant more. If you can read more. If you can do some service, do extra service. And obviously if you have the opportunity, do candles, so offer a candle. And sing along with Damodar prayers, as Prabhuji will do. But whatever you do in this month of Kartik, don't forget, this is a special month, a month where you buy one, you get lots free with it. And with this free, it's going to build up our spiritual balance. So it's going to build up a spiritual balance. So what nicer way to increase our bank balance than during the month of Kartik? Because, sometimes you think we have a very long life, but we don't know what's around the next corner. Krishna knows. So take this opportunity. Every moment you have, we find it so hard to find time, but nowadays technology is there. We can listen to it on your iPads, on your phones. You can listen to kirtans, you can listen to lectures, you can hear pastimes of Krishna. You can, like images of Krishna, beautiful pictures of Krishna. You can see Krishna, worship Krishna any which way you can. There's no hard and fast rule. And just chant. If you can't chant on your beats, have a little clicker. Or even mentally, just when you're walking along, chant. On the train, carry on chanting the holy name. If you're at work, if you're ever in doubt or something, just take a few minutes. Just remember Krishna. Don't forget, he's always there by your side. Not even by your side, he's actually residing in your heart. So you can't even say he's never with me, because he's always with us all the time, 24/7. And he's like our guardian. So why? This is the opportunity where you can remember him as much as we can in the month of Kartik. So please, please, everybody, this is the time. Just serve Krishna in any which way you can. And he doesn't ask for much. Very simple. A fruit, leaf or flower, whatever you can offer him, please offer to Lord Krishna. He'll accept it. But serve it with love. Shri Shri Radha Gokulanda Bhagwan Ji ki, Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Ji ki, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai.
Namam Shiram Sachidanandrupam Rasad Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashoda Biyukukala.
One line, then other follow, then you another line.
Yashoda Biyukala Davanamam Paramali Samachyato Drujagopya Biyukala Dantam Muhunetra Yukmamrijantam Karamboja Yukmena Satanka Netram Svasakam Patri Yankakanta Sritugrevam Damodaram Bhaktiparam Vitikri Satita Ananda Kunde Swagosham Namikyatam Nakya Paryantam Ratiye Shita Kesu Bhakti Jitatvam Puna Prematastam Satam Vritti Bande Shamna Moksha Vadimva Nachayam Vrineham Varishaditiha Idam te vipunata gopala palam Sadame manasiya viristam kimanete Sadame manasiyate yapiyane Idam te mukapucham matyam tamile Ritam kuntaresnika ratesta gomya Chumbatam bimbarachamime Manashiya vrisatam alakshidayate Manashiya vratam alakshidayate Namo devatamodarantam Vishnu Srida Prabhu Dukhala Rapi Magnam Kivatisti Vrisyati Dinam Bhatanu Ganesha Mambachna Neki Akshitisya Tata prema bhaktim sakam me pradacha Namokshe graho me svidam udaraja Kaleva jaratya pucheva yadvat Tvaya mojita bhakti vajokritancha Tata prema bhakti svatam javadviya Namokshe graho mesti damodaracha Namokshe graho mesti damodaracha Namaste studamne spura ditidamne Swatiya kiryasta dishyataratamne Radhikaya Tvaida Praiye Namo Natalilaya Devaya Tubhyam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. To the Supreme Lord, whose form is the embodiment of eternal existence, knowledge and bliss, whose shark-shaped earrings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Gokula, who, due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into butter, and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from a swing, is quickly running from the wooden grinding mortar in fear of Mother Yashoda, but who has been caught from behind by her, who ran after him with greater speed. To that Supreme Lord, Sri Damodara, I offer my humble obeisances. Seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his 2 lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with 3 lines like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To this Supreme Lord, Sri Damodara, whose belly is bound not with ropes, but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances. By such childhood pastimes as this, he is drowning the inhabitants of Gokula in pools of ecstasy, and is revealing to those devotees who are absorbed in knowledge of his supreme majesty and opulence that he is only conquered by devotees whose pure love is imbued with intimacy and is free from all conceptions of awe and reverence. With great love, I again offer my obeisances to Lord Damodara hundreds and hundreds of times. O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon which may be obtained by executing the 9 processes of bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Bala Gopala in Vrindavan may ever be manifest in my heart. For what is the use to me of any other boon besides this? O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair, tinged with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use to me. O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisances to you. O Damodara, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord, please be pleased with me. By showering your glance of mercy upon me, deliver this poor ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows and become visible to my eyes. O Lord Damodar, just as the 2 sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Nalakuvera, were delivered from the curse of Narad and made into great devotees by you in your form as a baby tied with rope to a wooden grinding mortar, in the same way, please give to me your own prema bhakti. I only long for this and have no desire for any kind of liberation. O Lord Damodar, I first of all offer my obeisances to the brilliantly effulgent rope which binds your belly. I then offer my obeisances to your belly, which is the abode of the entire universe. I humbly bow down to your most beloved Srimati Radharani, and I offer all obeisances to you, the Supreme Lord, who displays unlimited pastimes.
Namaste Narasingaya. Namaste Narasingaya. Kaladalahadadayayine. Ayine Hiranyakashipurvashaya. Kashipurvashaya. Silatankana kalaye. Kalaye. Shango paratona shango. Yato yato yamita tona shango. Tona shango. Ayena shango ridayena shango. Ena shango Narashima Madin Saranam Prapane. Narashima Madin Saranam Prapane. Saranam Prapane. Avakara Kamala Varena Kama Buddha Singha Dalita Hiranya Tanubinga Keshavadita Narahani Ruta Jai Jagadisha Hare Jayo Jagadisha Hare Jayo Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Gora Shri Shri Lakshmana Singh Bhagavan ki jai. Vasa Braj ki jai. Go.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you for making attendance this evening tonight, Bhaktivedanta Manor. And I'd like to invite everybody to take attendance with a fantastic event that's happening in the Krishna Haveli with His Holiness Shivaram Maharaj. I invite you to take your places over there. And obviously there's prasadam available. Have a wonderful time at Bhaktivedanta Manor. Hare Krishna! I needed it. You need to, you sound alright. Yeah, cool. You have to stand. I did practice, but not enough. No, not enough. Yeah, keep doing it to manifest in your mind. The main thing is that I had the mood, the mood. Yeah, that's really important. So I got the mood right. It was fun. I'm not in the heavenly planets. See you later, everyone. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Jai Balaram. Maybe, no, not in there. just the instrument. Try the event. Maybe she might have taken them for the event, you know, try the Bhakti Lounge.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they're in there, you know.
Oh, sure.
Because we're going to strip this down now. Yeah, we're going to take this down. There is some lecture. How often does that happen?
Are there any spare beads that you can do to your devotees? Just for chanting, like...
Beads.
Yeah.
I can give you some. Looking for candles.
Oh,
Good candles.
looks like the table from inside, no?
No, the candles for offering. Packaging. In a hospital room, library.